Hello. How you doing? It's 75 degrees today, and it's supposed to snow tomorrow or day after tomorrow. That sounds really strange. This was not an easy video to make. I'll tell you why in a minute. But before I open the bag, you're probably like, what the hell is that? I like really strange, cool stuff, especially if it's like really, really cheap, because that's the only stuff that I can afford. This is a French physician's bag. This is about lenses, by the way. My lenses are in here, okay? You're like, what the hell is he doing? Dude's got a purse. This is a someone didn't know what it was. They thought it was like a banker's bag because you see all this huge, heavy hardware up here. It didn't come with a lock. And obviously anybody could cut into this with a knife since it's made out of leather, but I bought a little tiny lock for it because I thought it was cute. The reason why there's a lock on this, they actually use these in the 1950s too in like insane asylums. But the reason why this is really heavy duty up here at top is because physicians would keep their like really dirty drugs in this, like heroin and like, you know, freaky deaky stuff, and when they turned their back to like go write a prescription, they didn't want their patients getting their hands in here and like pilfering the heroin or whatever the hell was in here. So I got this really cheap, and it's actually really rare and quite valuable. It is really cool. I guess it kind of looks like a purse, right? It's like, dude's got a purse. Anyway, these are my picks. There's 8 lenses, and I'll tell you why I left a couple lenses out that I thought of including in here, but I've got 8 lenses in here. And these are my picks for absolute top adapted lenses for Fujifilm. And I can easily say that I have tried more lenses to adapt to Fujifilm than anybody. There is nobody on this earth. I can easily say that. As an owner of over 500 lenses and tested many more that I don't have, I've tested way more lenses on Fujifilm than anybody has. I can actually say there's nobody at Fujifilm, either USA or Japan or Europe, that's tried as many lenses adapted as I have. There's nobody. Anyway, I think I made my point. Isn't that a cool bag? Like a gothic girl would maybe like this, because, you know, gothic people are into, you know, heavy duty stuff, or like, what was that, steampunk? Anyway, the only reason I actually didn't include like the 55mm Sears 1.4, which is my pick for really just about the best adapted lenses. I have it covered over several different lenses here. It really should be in this collection. That's a 55mm Auto Sears, the Auto Rekinan. They're both the same lens, a 55mm f1.4. In no particular order. I have the 8 lenses here. Let's go over them. Also, to the 85mm Midicon, I would have gladly included that, but I have it covered, and it's really heavy, and I just like wanted. All of these have, except for one lens, all of these have adapters on it to adapt them to Fujifilm use, other than the Midicon 35. These are the lenses I always grab for, and they're these 8. The only other 2 exceptions are 2 more: the Midicon 85-1.2 and the Auto Rekinan or Auto Sears, same lens, 55mm 1.4. So, by the way, Fujifilm does not have a perspective control lens. Perspective control gives you a lot of awesome advantages. Most people have no idea what those advantages are. They know it's for correcting converging verticals, like for trees and buildings, but that's not all it does. You can actually sit here and take a shot, and without moving the tripod or panning it, which causes an issue, is you can actually just move it over, take a shot, and then twist the lens over and take a shot way over here. So you got not only perfect perspective control for eliminating out verticals, you know, like trees, you know, looks like they're falling over, coming together, but also buildings, but also being able to take really basically perfect and stitching them either in camera, which I don't do, or in a Photoshop or other program. This is the 28mm. This used to be a $1,200 lens up until just a few years ago. They stopped making this in 2008, I believe, or 2007. This is a 28mm 3.5. By the way, all perspective control lenses, including the most super expensive 19mm f4, what is there, f3.5, $3,300 lens, that's also manual. There's a reason why perspective control lenses have to be manual focus. So this lens is just incredibly, amazingly sharp, and Fujifilm does not have a perspective control lens. They do not. Got a couple of Voigtlanders here. Let me get all the lenses out. This lens was hard to make because I went over it. It's like, is this my pick for best adapted lenses to Fujifilm? Over and over and over and over the list, and this is it. And I'm keeping all of them in this one nifty bag. I'm a bit of a hardcore leather bag person, although that bag kind of looks like a purse, doesn't it? Doesn't look that much like a purse. Maybe it does. Anyway, it's a physician's bag, specifically a French physician's bag. Here we go. Here's the 8 lenses, and like I said, in no specific order. I've talked about this lens quite a bit. This is this tiny little lens. The adapter is bigger than the lens. This is the Yashinon. This is an exceptionally rare lens. This is the it's a 5 centimeter, basically meaning 5 millimeter, 50 millimeter. Did I say 5 millimeter? I'd say 50 millimeter. Excuse me, 50 millimeter f2. Tack sharp as hell. Incredible bokeh. It's tiny, and this lens is super rare. People have caught on to that when they find them now. They have been going for 100 plus, but now people are asking 250 plus for them on eBay because of my videos. I probably shouldn't talk about this lens much because it's so damn hard to find, but that's the Yashinon. I got 3 of those lenses. I'll never see it again. Probably never will. It's just so damn rare. This is the native Fuji mount. This is not a Fuji lens. This is the Zhongyi 35mm f is 0.95. Sharp as hell, incredible bokeh, amazing rendering. Take a look at the Flickr page for the Zhongyi or the Minicon 35mm f/0.95. This is the 55. You can get this in like non-AI or AIS, which is all there is. Actually, AI, AIS, and non-AI. Get the non-AI version for as cheap as like 180 bucks. This is the 55mm f1.2 Nikkor. Very few of these were actually made. There's the 4th lens. I'll leave the Voigtlanders for last. This one is, I've got an adapter for it, of course, as necessary. The 10.5mm Nikkor Fisheye, and I actually adapted this one for use on full frame or on the GFX, which is the only camera I could use. True circular 220 degree field of view, because I actually circumcised, how would be the correct word, circumcised the lens hood off of this, so that it's not just a fisheye, but it's a 220 millimeter field of view fisheye. Nikon makes the best fisheyes out there. Nobody makes fisheyes like Nikon does, and I've tried every fisheye that's out there. You can spend a lot more money. Nikon mastered wide angles and fisheyes much better than anybody else. Much better than Voigtlander or Zeiss or Leica or you know, all of those. Yep, or Zeiss. I don't think I recall a Zeiss fisheye. Anyway, that's the 10.5mm Nikkor fisheye. This is also a DX lens. In castrating it, circumcising this lens. I said castrating. Take your mind out of the gutter. Use this on the GFX, like I said, for perfectly circular. Since the sensor is so large, when I use this one on the any full frame camera, it actually crops off the top and bottom of the circle, but I get true circular images out of this with the medium format GFX. My single favorite lens adapted to Fujifilm is this with the metal built-in lens hood. This is the 105mm f1.8 AIS Nikkor. Averages between 400 and 550 bucks. Wow, incredible. This is a 5-element lens. Yeah, 5-element. Micro contrast, sharpness. Oh my God, nothing. Talk about, oh my God. Silk, sex, and sugar. Absolute perfection. Got a few of these. Actually, I got a dead one yesterday. Well, kind of dead. The aperture's dead. I was fixing it yesterday. Here we have the last 2 lenses, the Voigtlander. I'm going to talk about this lens endlessly. This is a Nikon mount. This is a Leica M mount. So I have a Leica M mount to Fuji X mount adapter on this one. The adapters are only 20 bucks. This is an expensive Metabones adapter, but you certainly do not need that. You could use these stupid, cheap, not stupid, they're awesome. They're only $22. The K&F adapters, they're $22 on eBay, like a Nikon F mount to Fuji X mount or whatever adapter you need. They make it for adapting to Fuji. This is the 58mm Voigtlander Nocturne F1.4. Silk section sugar, based upon a Topcon design. Absolute perfection in every way imaginable. This is the pinnacle of... Even a $15,000 Leica isn't made better than this. Oh my God, the bokeh on this is incredible. The micro contrast is incredible. Absolutely everything on this lens is incredible. endless thousands of people bought this lens off my recommendation. It's only $400. And last but not least, a new introduction. I got this, I almost wish they didn't send this lens to me for testing because I had to buy it. This lens is just amazing, and it's so small and so fast. I just want to have sex with this lens. See, 40mm f1.2 Voigtlander, I said 40mm f1.2 Voigtlander Nocturne. This is the, it is a Leica M mount, and it is a pretty damn expensive lens at what, 800 and some bucks? Is it an $800 currently? Yeah, Leica M mount, so most of you would not even think about buying a Leica M mount. Boy, oh boy, this works so good on the Fuji. Oh my God. Oh man. It's one of those lenses that's 10 across the board. The bokeh is incredible. The resolution is incredible. The micro contrast is incredible. The rendering is incredible. Oh my God, I want to have sex with this lens. That's the only reason I bought this really expensive lens, because it is that incredible. Comparable to the 58mm, it's a completely different lens. It renders differently. You should take a look at the Flickr page for both, and you'll immediately see what I'm talking about. But both of these are incredible for mostly the same reason, but they are different. Anyway, that's my pick of top 8. There are 8 of them here, right? Yeah, 3, 6, yeah. I said the only other 2 lenses would be the 5514, excuse me, Auto Rakinen, or Auto Sears, same lens, or the 85mm 1.2, right, Medicon, the 85mm, which is a huge lens. I have their other lens right here, which is incredible, the 35 f/0.95. Wow. All of these lenses are absolutely my favorite lenses for adapting, and the adapters are always on these lenses. I have an adapter on every lens here except for the 55, but that's just because I ran out of adapters. The adapters I don't think are ever going to come off this lens, these lenses. I use these lenses exclusively on Fujifilm. All of these are best on the DX. I've tried most of these on the GFX. Not all, but most of them. The one that's really awesome on the GFX is the circular fisheye. Now, circular fisheye obviously has limited uses. It looks just like a regular fisheye on the DX crop sensor. This is a DX lens for Nikon. Even though I cut the lens hood off to give it a wider field of view, it still looks the same on the DX crop sensor. You still get full corner to corner in this lens. Fisheyes are notoriously horrible. It's really, really hard to master the optics of a fisheye where you can get actually a damn sharp lens. Basically all fisheyes are just, you print out an 8x10, it looks really cool, you got, but it's not sharp. You can't crop it really, hardly at all. Nikon fisheyes, Nikkor fisheyes are an exception. Nikon mastered the fisheye and the ultra-wide angle lenses like the 20mm 1.8G, the 24mm 1.8G. Nikon owns both Canon and Zeiss's and Voigtlander's ass when it comes to wide-angle lenses, and specifically so the fisheye. Thank you so much for watching. I have no sponsorship, so if you ever want to drop a buck in the link below, or join my Patreon page where you can call me or contact me whenever you feel like it, except when I'm sleeping, hopefully. People still call me in the middle, like, hello, hello. It's like, yeah, it's a good time. Yeah, I was asleep, but what is 4 o'clock in the morning? That actually does happen. But still, I've never refused a phone call when someone called me, so if I join Patreon, even a buck contribution to Patreon, you can call me whenever you want. I can help on anything. I am really helpful, actually. So, thank you so much for watching. Hope you like these videos. If you do, click the link below. Tell me to jump off a cliff, whatever makes you happy, but these are my pick for the top 8 lenses for adaptation to Fujifilm. Thank you, and goodbye. Do 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 do.